Hey guys, we're here in Jerusalem, and as you can see behind me is the Temple Mount. You can see the Golden Dome, and then behind that is obviously the Mount of Olives. Now, what I want to bring your attention to is that where I'm standing is I am standing on the rooftops in Jerusalem. And one of the things I want to bring that out about is in the Olivet Discourse, Jesus mentioned something. Now, as you know, he mentioned that the abomination of desolation will be set up. And so there will be a Jewish temple on the Temple Mount, but the Antichrist will go in there, obviously desecrate it by proclaiming himself to be God, and then putting up an idol of himself in the Jewish temple. So that will be desecrated, obviously. So when that happens, Jesus gave a sign that when you see this happen, he told the Jews in Jerusalem to get out of Dodge, basically. And I want to fill you in on some of the details about that. This is Matthew 24, and it says in verse 15, "Therefore, when you see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet standing in the holy place, whoever reads, let him understand." And then he goes into how to get out of Jerusalem. And this is interesting. He goes, "Then let those who are in Judea flee to the mountains." Now, in previous episodes, I've talked about where this is, and it's Petra. And you put all the clues together, and when they see the abomination of desolation on the Temple Mount, they're to go to Petra. And just imagine, perhaps next to the Golden Dome, a Jewish temple that would one day be built, and then that being desecrated. So they're supposed to go to Petra, basically. And then he goes on, "Let him who is on the housetop not go down and take anything out of his house. And let him who is in the field not go back to get his clothes." And you're thinking about, what is that about? So if you're on the housetop, you're on the rooftop, don't go back down and get your stuff. Well, here we are. Where I'm standing is I'm on top of the roofs in Jerusalem. And what happens is the city is so compacted that, homes are put right next to each other. So where I'm standing is a rooftop. And basically, if I wanted to, I could get out of the old city by going from rooftop to rooftop and walking through on top of the roofs to get out of the city. I wouldn't want to go back down into the city and get trapped in that. And so just as Messiah said, and just as you see Jerusalem today, you can escape Jerusalem the fastest way is on top of the roofs, and you can get out of the old city. And then Messiah, if you read that passage, it continues on, and he says, make sure, pray that it doesn't happen on the Sabbath. And why is that important? Well, on the Sabbath, Shabbat, in Israel, especially in Jerusalem, public transportation doesn't work. And so you're going to be stuck if it happens on the Sabbath. So he tells Israel, pray it doesn't happen on the Sabbath. And then he says, pray it doesn't happen in the wintertime. And why is that a big deal? Because in the wintertime, the rainwaters come through and they hit the wadis, and the wadis will wash out the roads that lead to Petra. And so you can't cross them. So that's why he told Israel, pray that it doesn't happen in wintertime. But here again, just proof of what Messiah Yeshua said, if you see the abomination of desolation spoken by the prophet Daniel, don't go down, stay on the rooftop where you're at, and get out. Get out as fast as you can. Because why? Because the Antichrist will try to destroy every living Jew on the planet. He will turn on. It will be Satan's ploy to try to destroy every living Jew, because the second coming of Yeshua is predicated on the Jewish acceptance of him. And so Satan's plan through the Antichrist is to try to wipe out the Jews. He will not be successful, but according to Zechariah chapter 13, he is able to wipe out about 2/3, but the 1/3 make it out. But anyway, that's the little theological tidbit I wanted to share with you. We're on the rooftop. And so this is what Messiah was trying to explain to his followers.